There's a well-known passage in Luke 15 that records the story of the prodigal son and his prodigal brother. Not only can we learn a lot from those two boys, but that passage also showcases for us the heart of a godly father. The father in Luke 15 understands his roles as provider, protector, and pastor of his family. Remember when the entitled prodigal son demands of his father that he give him the portion of goods that falleth to him? That father was such a good provider that he had an inheritance waiting for his son. Also, after his son's waywardness, the father had additional resources to bestow upon the son: a ring, a robe, a fatted calf, and much more. So to that father's credit, he certainly was a good provider. Not only that, but secondly, that father was a good protector. Everything about that home speaks of protection and security. And while that son was away, wasting his substance in riotous living, it's in verse 17 when the son starts to long for the safety that his father had previously provided. It's interesting that the father didn't stop his son from going into the far country. He didn't stop him, nor did he go after him. Sometimes as fathers, we will protect our children from making bad decisions, and rightly so. But there are other times when we remember that as parents, we're not our child's Holy Spirit. At some point, we have to release our children to their own relationship with God's Spirit. Part of protecting our children from sinful choices is teaching them how to protect themselves from the enticements of this evil world. Lastly, or thirdly, that father had a pastor's heart for his family. And not every man is called to pastor a local church, but every father and husband is called to be the pastor of his home. Every father is called to spiritually shepherd his family. The older brother in Luke 15 ended up being angry and stubborn and selfish, entitled, and even jealous. Yet that father took time to patiently guide that older boy. In verses 31 and 32, the father is providing perspective to the older brother. He needed his dad to shepherd and counsel him, to pastor him. That older son was frustrated by temporal things, and that godly father provided an eternal perspective in the midst of their temporal circumstance. The father patiently provided wisdom. This father's heart is revealed in many ways. He provided, he protected, and he pastored those boys, even through the stress and anxiety that must have accompanied that situation. Instead of feeling like a failure because of his son's waywardness, that father was standing on the front porch looking for that son's return. Optimistic, compassionate, and selfless are words that describe the godly fathers that lead their homes. So to all the dads out there, thank you for all that you do to model Christ-likeness in front of your children. And on behalf of Strength for Life, we wish you a very happy Father's Day.